Pete Thamel tweeted earlier
Yeah.
today, new. An internal Big Ten document explores a 24-team college football playoff. It offers a peek at what the model could look like as another offseason of college football playoff discussion is set to unfold. 24 teams. And it's called a 23+1 selection model. And it's an additional weekend of on-campus college football home games. This would also essentially eliminate conference championship games here. And it just goes back to the same conversation. By the way, they had this, remember, they had this debate a couple of weeks ago. Tony Petitti and Greg Sankey, the commissioners of the Big Ten, the SEC. And there was that deadline to set a format for 2026, 27. So like in 10 months from now, 11 months from now. And basically Tony Petitti, the Big Ten commissioner, they wanted 24 teams. And he told the SEC, hey, we'll expand to 16, but only if you guys agree to expand to 24 after that. And the SEC was like, no, we don't want to do that. We'll go to 16, but we're not going to guarantee you that we're going to go to 24 after. 16 will be good for us. And all the other conferences just sat and they were like, oh, yeah, I guess we're fine with whatever you guys decide. And ultimately, Greg Sankey, thank you. One of the first times I agree with a college football commissioner of a conference, he was like, no, we're not doing that. So it scrapped it. It's going to stay as a 12-team format for next year. You know me, I'm the resistant to change. I'm the old man that doesn't want to see the game I love, really just become a money grab, which is what it already is. 24 teams would be absolutely preposterous. And this proposed format from the Big 12 looks just completely ridiculous, man. Completely ridiculous. We do not need, I'll say it again, we do not need 24 teams, because you look at some of the proposed matchups as what it would have been based on the final 2025 rankings, and you would have gotten a first-round matchup of Vanderbilt versus Virginia, with the winner playing Georgia. You would have gotten Utah versus Michigan, with the winner playing Ohio State. We don't need these teams in a postseason field, Brad. Come on, man.
I disagree. I absolutely love this. I don't know if we have to make the full-blown move to a 24-team playoff, but I'm here for this because a bowl system, it's on its last breath, really. And that's why, you're seeing some of these games close up and fold. The most recent one, the bowl game in Detroit, which has taken on several different names over the years, that's gone bye-bye. And I think there's other ones that are right now on life support, to say the least. And the bowl system should be eradicated. I think we should just go to a straight FCS-styled format, whether we start with 16 teams, whether we make the big jump, as the Big Ten really wants, to 24 teams. Let me read what Pete Thamel wrote and breaking this down on the format, because maybe it does change your mind, because my biggest question was the calendar and how this is going to be able to fit in. You mentioned the conference tournament title games being eradicated. I think that's a smart move, but it goes a little bit more in depth. So here is the proposal straight from Thamel's article. He says the top 8 teams would receive buys. There would be 8 first-round games on campus, then an extra week of home games with 8 second-round games played on campus. That would mean all the top teams would be rewarded with a playoff home game, which has been considered a flaw of the current system. The optimal window to start the 2014 playoff would be the second weekend in December, which is absolutely key, which would have Friday and Saturday away from any NFL competition. It would address a long rest period that has emerged early in the 12-team playoff model. Teams with buys and extended layoffs. It was over 20 days for those teams with buys in the current format. They went 1-7 the first 2 years of the CFP. Last thing he says, the quarterfinals would fall on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I think we all can get on board with that, at bowl sites. And the semifinals would be the following week at bowl sites. That would be followed then by a mid-January game title on a neutral field. Amen. Bravo. This is what I've been saying. Tighten up the calendar. Get rid of the bye weeks. I'm 100%. Screw that. I'm 100,000% on board with this current proposed format if we go to the 2014 playoff. Pat, Can I get you to buy in?
No, because when is enough, Brad? When is enough? Like then, what's stopping 48 teams? What is stopping 64 freaking football teams? Because hey, we eliminate the buys. Maybe we just reduce the regular season to an 8-game schedule. It virtually means nothing at this point anymore. If you're in the top 25, you're essentially getting in. And the regular season means nothing. It's so watered down. Like, why do we even play the regular season anymore if we're going to go to 24 teams?
Brackets!
But this isn't college basketball. That's what makes college basketball great is brackets. And it's because you can play 2 games in the span of 2 days or 2 games in the span of 48 hours. And then, you go on to the next weekend. It's not a game of football where, it's so physical and violent that you have to wait a week to play it. Like I just don't know where we stop if we keep going, if we keep expanding 24 teams. Then, like I said, we're going to go to 32. We're going to go to 32.
No, I don't think we will. I honestly do not think we will. I think it stops right there. The buck ends at 24. Now, it's different in college basketball, because obviously it's 68 now with the play-ins in Dayton. I think it's it's a perfect format. There is no need for expansion. Is expansion inevitable? Yes. They're talking 72 teams. They were talking 96 at one point. I think it'll start with 72. It'll eventually mushroom probably to the 96 format, but that could be like 10 years, 15, 20 years down the road. I think that's way too many. That's watering down the product. 24 teams in college football. I'm kind of here for it. And just think about the betting bonanza we would have at BetMGM. That alone has me buying in.
Yeah, I can't get behind it, man. I really can't. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't. It just doesn't feel right.
I'm going to chip away at you. I think eventually you're going to come around. If they implement this, if this is instituted and it comes to fruition in the next couple of years and you see it unfold in real time and we get some, crazy upsets in the early rounds, we have some heart-stopping action, round 2, round 3, whatever it is, you got your bracket in front of you. We're talking about the games. You're crossing teams off. You're highlighting teams just like you would in March. You're going to be fully bought in. I can guarantee it. You can't resist it. This is a drug that's placed in front of you, and you got to sniff it up, my man. Enjoy.
I can't. I don't want to sniff anything up. I don't.